सुधाकर जी, आपसे पहले जानना चाहेंगे, क्योंकि अक्रॉस बोर्ड अगर हम यहाँ पर देखें और अक्रॉस कमोडिटीज भी अगर देखें, तो एक चीज जहाँ पर हमने इन्फ्लेशन एंड प्राइस राइज आता हुआ देखा है वो एब्सोल्युटली खाने के तेल हैं। एडिबल ऑयल प्राइस में जिस तरह की प्राइस मूवमेंट पिछले 1 साल में बनी है, पिछले 6 महीने में बनी है, बायोफ्यूल के मैंडेट जिस तरह से हैं, कैसे देखते हैं आप यहाँ पर अफोर्डेबिलिटी? सबसे पहले
That's a lot of questions in one, Manisha ji. Yes, the war-related issues have really caused slight inflationary pressures, definitely driven by the Brent crude, which has gone up all the way from, as you know, $70 to touch $115. But right now it is stabilized somewhat, along with the developments in the Middle East to about 101 types. So we have seen that globally, not only earlier we used to speak that biofuel mandates globally will influence edible oil prices because they are about 25-30% of it. But there are new dynamics of it. We have realized that edible oil industry, we use nearly 15, 16 products, starting with laminates and TBHQ, the chemicals, the coal, the energy prices. So in all these things, we have found that they've gone up from 35 to nearly about 75-80%. But in the midst of it, the theme right now for oil industry is less about supply demand factors and in various oils, but more about the supply chain disruptions potentially because of this, and the demand being on the low key because of this. And the third point is basically in the HoReCa and B2B segment, the demand due to all these high prices is slightly on the backseat. Now, the risk premium that have been associated with this will make this market very volatile. And once you, like you said, once we start seeing unlocking and some peace coming back up, you can see equally strong volatility according to these factors. So this is how the markets have been. But by and large, India is well covered, supported by the domestic mustard crop, the domestic soya carryouts within India, and there is absolutely no disruption for supplies of palm oil, soybean oil shipments. Sun oil shipments are also quite normalized at this point in time because they don't use the troubled Hormuz canal. So as far as India is concerned, the supply disruption is not a major factor. Prices have slightly gone up. We see demand destruction at the HoReCa and B2B because there are definitely some gas availability issues prompting various sectors to innovate and see how edible oil consumption can be reduced temporarily.
सुधाकर जी, जस्ट टू पुट दिस इन पर्सपेक्टिव, अगर हम भाव ऊपर जाता हुआ देख रहे हैं, जो आप कह रहे हैं सप्लाई चेन डिस्ट्रप्शन की वजह से है, लेकिन डिमांड यहाँ पर डिक्लाइन भी है, क्या ये इस साल में है? काफ़ी सारे फैक्टर्स हैं ऑफ कोर्स, जैसे आपने कहा होरेका सेगमेंट ने बोला एलपीजी के प्रॉब्लम्स हैं, 10% का इम्पैक्ट यहाँ पर हमने क्रॉस सेक्टर में आता हुआ देखा है, ये इंडस्ट्री खुद से यहाँ पर बताती है। डिमांड की बात अगर की जाए तो पिछले 2-3 साल में किस तरह के यहाँ पर ट्रेंड्स रहे हैं, और क्या हम इसी तरफ जा ही रहे थे जहाँ पर डिमांड प्लेटो हो रही है इंडियन मार्केट्स में?
एक्चुअली डिमांड देखिए, आई वुड से डिमांड हैज बीन नॉर्मलाइज्ड कि 2% या 1.5%, 1.5% के हिसाब से जो डिमांड ग्रो होता है नॉर्मली वही हो रहा है। 4-5% से जो ग्रो किया था पहले वो नहीं हो रहा है आज के दिन में। सो डिमांड इज समवट सबड्यूड, बट मोर इम्पोर्टेंटली फॉर अस, I think thanks to the domestic crop trigger, I would say, the better rapeseed crops over the last 2-3 years, better domestic crops. The imports have been curtailed more or less at about 16 million tons, whereas 3-4 years back, I remember it used to be about 17 million tons. So I think we have done a good job of controlling imports and also seen not really enough to make ourselves insulated from vulnerability, not really good enough. But domestic crops, especially rapeseed and soybean crops, have grown in India, adding to the supply situation. But demand, I would say that is normal at about 2% growth.
जो कमोडिटी हम अपनी ज़रूरत का 60 से 65% इंपोर्ट करते हैं सुधाकर जी, और जिस तरह से रुपए में हमने इतनी बड़ी डिप्रिसिएशन आते हुए देखी है, इंटरनेशनल मार्केट्स में एडिबल ऑयल के प्राइसेस बढ़े हैं, आप कहेंगे जहां तक एडिबल ऑयल की बात है काफ़ी हद तक कि सारा का सारा इंपोर्टेड इन्फ्लेशन है?
Yes, everything. Like I said, we use 16 products in edible oil making. TBHQ refining process, तो उस सब का थोड़ा बहुत inflationary pressure हुआ है. But if I really see, edible oil prices are somewhat stable. It's not gone up in the last few days. Actually, they are trying to get demand. If we see oil-wise, I think palm oil is comfortable, driven by B50. Biofuel margins are very good because the Brent crude oil prices have gone up. So it is keeping some kind of a hike in the palm oil prices. Otherwise, the palm production is comfortable. Stocks are comfortable. Soybean oil, on the other hand, is waiting for demand. India being the largest buyer from Argentina, shipments are regular. But what is affecting the prices right now is not exactly the directly the supply chain issues, but the good biodiesel margins within US. That's why you will find that Chicago Board of Trade, which is representative of soybean complex, has been very volatile, and it has actually at peak gone up to 77 cents. So soybean oil requires demand, especially from India. Otherwise, you will find that the palm and soya gap, which is about $100, makes palm attractive right now. But as we go in the next 2-3 months, my belief is that soya also needs Indian demand. So both the oils will compete to find market share in Indian market. Sun oil is a different ball game. It goes directly into the household majorly in South India. So that is very less price elastic. But otherwise, the switch between palm and soya, when we talk about today, palm oil continues to be the cheapest, and rapeseed is a good story, bright spot in the Indian market because the farmer is getting better price than MSP. Crushing has been much more than normal because of this disruption. And rapeseed oil, mustard seed oil prices are very, very competitive
Okay.
compared to imported soya. So they are fulfilling the consumption. So if the domestic oils like rice bran, mustard, groundnut, soya are finding demand, it is good news because indirectly that will add a supportive to the domestic growth eventually.
सुधाकर जी, काफी सारी रिपोर्ट्स ऑफ कोर्स इसके ऊपर निकल के आई हैं. कुछ लोग मानते हैं कि वाटर टेबल्स डिप्लीट हो रही हैं, गर्मी बहुत ज्यादा है, एंड खरीफ सोइंग में सॉइल मॉइस्चर शायद उतना नहीं है, और खरीफ के बाद शायद रबी में और भी नुकसान देखने को मिलेगा. आप कैसे रीड कर रहे हैं इसे?
I think El Nino is a very important factor. Like you said, 92% का long period average का prediction है IMD का. SkyMed का भी करीब करीब 94 है. लेकिन edible oil industry sector के हिसाब से अगर हम देखेंगे, इसी 5-6 states are very important in India. Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Gujarat, Andhra, all the UP, all the oilseed growing areas. So we have to see not only the monsoon impact, but also the periodic progression till the harvest time. So that is one factor. Second thing is, since like you already said, the import dependency हमारा है, तो ये क्या La Nino impact in the past I have seen, it will affect more the South Asian, that means palm production, like Indonesia, especially Malaysia. It won't affect South American soybean complex or sunflower, for example. So within Asia, this impact is seen. We have to, of course, watch very carefully because monsoon is very important for Indian economy and its demand. अगर इंडिया में डिमांड कम हो जाता है because of high prices or monsoon, or India starts encouraging more imports, needs more imports, I think it will be a very crucial price factor for the global markets also, because India is such a large importer of all these things in India that everybody is watching monsoon. But so far, whatever we have discussed across sectors, including dal, sugar, edible oil, the inflationary issues that have happened, the fact that the prices are also very good for the farmers already, I would say policy-wise, in case any intervention is required in edible oils, a 5% reduction as per our dynamic duty policy can be one of the policy interventions that government can think of to spur the demand back, especially in the HoReCa sector, where while the overall scenario is affected is 12% due to inflationary tendencies, gas supplies, In the commercial sector of HoReCa, we are finding being in the market, the impact is much more. So a little tweaking once in a while because it is in line with our philosophy that higher global prices, you have to tweak the, instead of knee-jerk reaction, you
जी
can proactively tweak the duties a little bit. So balancing between supplies, supply disruption, consumption, and imports is very necessary. It's something proactively that we can do.